Well, now that the spring holy days and the holidays are over, for whichever you chose to do, your unleavening or your spring cleaning, it's time to start a new sourdough starter. So let's get with it. I have my distilled water, my caraway seeds, and a container to start the soak in. I'm going to start it in this just so I can keep track of the number of tablespoons of liquid and stuff that I'm using. I'm going to start with 3 tablespoons of distilled water and a teaspoon of the caraway seeds. I'm going to let it soak overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and start mixing it with the flour. The caraway seeds have been soaking, and as you can see, the water has gotten a little bit yellow, which is perfect. I'm going to mix this with a little bit of flour, and we'll let it sit and watch to see if it rises. I've decided to start it in a little bitty small jelly jar. I'll eventually transfer it into my sourdough jar because I have my strap and everything where I can monitor how fast it's rising. But let's just put a little of the water. I'll try and strain the seeds out because there's a couple that are floating, but if those ever do end up in your sourdough starter, it will not hurt a thing. So this is about 1/4 of a cup scoop, and I'm not filling it up full, almost half, just a little over halfway. I could use even less. So with this tiny little bit of flour, I'll add a little bit of the water and mix it up and set it aside, giving it a chance to do its thing. Try not to get the seeds. And almost just a tablespoon there. So that's good. That one seed wants to get in this scoop. Here's a full one. Let's start with 3 tablespoons approximately. If I need a little bit more water, I'll add more water. If I need a little bit more flour, I'll add a tiny bit more flour. I'll mix this up. It looks like it's going to be just about right. Just a little bit like pancake batter. Everybody says that, but I guess that depends on what your pancake batter looks like. Mine is usually just about able to be poured. It sticks to the spoon, but it will drip off. It's just a little bit thick, not thick. You don't want it like bread dough. I'll scrape the edges so that we can wash this, and I'll put a rubber band around it so we can come back and check on it later and see how it does. You can see it's just a small amount. That way I'm not going to have a lot of discard that I have to throw away or try and get rid of. I don't get rid of mine. I usually just make a batch of biscuits if I have extra, so it's not like it's going to go to waste. I'm also going to fill this back up with the distilled water so that I will have some more to use tomorrow when I feed my starter. Not going to add any extra seeds, just filling the little cup up, and I will set it aside so that it's ready. It's 10:54 a.m. Mark my jar. With the rubber band. Mark the jar with the rubber band. Put this aside and how much it rises in $2. I'm also going to Instead of making a large batch and then discarding half, I keep it small, feeding about a tablespoon of water and flour each time.
I'll feed this twice a day for the first 2 days. Then it should be pretty good. Once it's active, I can start using it right away. No waste, no discard, just simple sourdough. Once it starts bubbling, it'll double in size. That's when it's ready to use.